video really might be too advanced for some people. It's not going to be helpful for everyone. It's going to be great for people who are ready and willing to invest whatever it takes in their health. If you're just starting your natural health care journey, it really may be overwhelming and paralyzing. So, but I'm going to go for it. We're going to talk about it. You can choose, listen or not. So we are going on family vacation next week, 7 of us, for 8 days. And I've done a couple of things. I'm going to show you here what I've been doing to prepare and how I'm packing and taking food. And then we will, might be a couple of days, but we will give you my packing list and some of the recipes that I'm using. So my intention is for a week-long vacation to not destroy my health. And I would rather, and thankfully my family is all like-minded, we would rather eat in the resort, in the hotel. We're actually not at a hotel, it is a resort with a full kitchen. We would rather bring our food, shop there, eat our own food, than compromise our health by going out to eat. Being together is what it's all about. And here's the thing, when you go out to eat and you eat food that has bad fat in it, which is probably 95% of the places out there, it takes your body up to 2 years to detoxify that bad fat. Now, some people might be healthy enough, some specialists would argue that some people are healthy enough to handle that. Most people aren't, and it depends on where you are in your health journey. And a lot of times it's really a hidden thing and it's cumulative. That could be one of the ingredients that sets you back in your health journey. So what I do is the first thing, I start with my shopping list and I plan my menu for the week, not 100%, but I plan the majority, probably 80% of my menu for the week. And I separate that into things that I'm going to take with me, things that I'm going to buy there, and things that I'm going to prepare in advance and freeze and take with me. It's very easy to take frozen food with you on the airplane. You do have to put it in a checked bag. I mean, you're gonna wanna put it in a checked bag. You can carry it on, if it's within your baggage allowance, you can carry frozen food on the airplane as a carry-on, but you're not gonna wanna do that. So I start with my list. I also put on my list personal care products, household cleaning products. And then of course, you know, like this week, this is May 2023, and we're going to Vail, Colorado, and it's still cold there. And we live in Texas where it's probably 90 degrees today, and it may be 40 degrees today in Vail. So we put all of those little things. We're going to the hot springs, so we put our swimsuits. So that information also is on my packing list. I wish I could show you, but it's over around the corner, what my packing list looks like with all of the notes and scribbles and things on it. I actually enjoy doing it. I love it. And once you get some of it done, once you get your packing list done, and I'll give you my template, it's really easy to update it for any trip. And what I've ended up with is, for example, in the bathroom, I have a bag of travel size things, and when I get ready to go, I just get that bag out of the closet. So it's really, once you've done it, the first time you may invest a little more effort, but every time you do it, it's gonna get easier and easier. So about a week ago, I started compiling and gathering my things because I work more than full time. So I had to start in advance and get it done on the weekend. And we're leaving Saturday morning at 6 a.m. So I had to get all this stuff done in advance. So I have a couple of insulated bags that I will put my frozen foods in. And then I may use this bag. I'm gonna put these, that's not going to fit. This is why we prepare in advance. So I'll find something to put these in. Evidently, it's not gonna be that. We are going to do laundry while we're there so that we can pack less. So I've got some laundry bags so that if I have a delicate dark colored t-shirt, I can throw it in the laundry with the blue jeans, and the heavy blue jeans won't stretch out my delicate t-shirts. We have our shaker. Our coffee is ready. So in my bag, I have my egg slicer and my apple wedger. There are really just 3 tools that I take with me. I'm also going to take my food chopper with me. And I called the resort ahead of time to be sure that they have stainless steel cookware. Most of them do. There have been 1 or 2 that didn't, and so I have sometimes packed a big 12-inch stainless steel skillet in my luggage, which really doesn't take up a lot of space. I have some teas. We are going to, so we're in Austin, we're using our Advantage miles, so we have to fly through DFW, which is a huge pain, and it means that we might get hungry, you know, on the plane when we're anywhere sometime between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. So we're going to take food with us to eat on the airplane. You can take food on the airplane, and that does not count in your carry-on baggage allowance, as long as it's not liquids. So we've got nuts and beef jerky. We're going to cube up some cheese. We've got some dried fruit in some silicone bags. So we have a few things like that. More coffee and tea. So again, what I've done here, as I think of things and mark them off of my list. So if I have 5 minutes, I get out my list, I go gather a few things, and I put them in my luggage. And that saves me so much time, and it makes my trip successful, so I'm less likely to forget something. And it saves me the stress of the night or 2 before, waking up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my goodness, I forgot this and this and this. So it really is effortless. I take my own rubber gloves because if I'm doing dishes in the resort, there's probably chlorine and fluoride in the water, and I don't want to absorb that through my hands. My hands do not respond. It's horrible. It destroys my hands. We have raincoats. I have my little whisk that we'll use for our fat coffee or for our shakes. We have a couple of different protein powders that we're going to take with us for lunch. Another raincoat, an umbrella. I love these olives from Thrive Market. They're in little individual pouches, and this is great on the airplane. Very easy, not messy. I have Ion is a really good supplement to take when you're in a situation like that because it protects your gut from the glyphosate, so that if you do go out to eat, this minimizes the damage of the chemicals in the food when you're going out to eat. I have, I've got a few things here that I like to put on my coffee bar. Also, we're taking some oatmeal with us, so I've got my own cinnamon. One of the recipes we're doing, I've got canned chicken, so we're going to make some chicken tortilla soup. So I have the green chilies also. Again, we'll give you the list, we'll give you the recipes. I have another thing of seasonings, some more tea, it's going to be cold there. I have an empty container for dish soap. I love the Truly Free products because I have a tiny little pouch of dish soap in here somewhere, and when I get there I'll reconstitute it and put it in my sponge and in my dish soap bottle. I have salad dressing here, lots of electrolytes because we're going to be, our resort is at 7,400 feet, so we might have a little trouble adjusting the first day. Here's my Truly Free dish soap pouch. Takes up almost no space, very lightweight, and we'll include a link here or on our website, healthforapurpose.com. on the shopping page. You can click the link for these products. We would appreciate your support there. I'm taking dishwasher soap because when you've got chemicals in your dishwasher soap, then it goes out into the kitchen and you breathe that. Plus you're eating it on your dishes. So I am taking this with me. I have laundry soap, and for a trip, I do use the ones that are the little pouches because that's a lot easier. And I just take what I think I might need for the week. So it doesn't weigh much, it doesn't take up much space, it's not a lot of liquid. I'm taking a hot chocolate, again, in the mountains where it's cold. We've got some sunscreen, just in case it's 70 degrees one day and we want to walk around outside, and some enzyme cleaner for the laundry. Olive oil, very important. Healthy salt. They'll probably have salt at the resort, but I don't want that poison white salt, chemical, processed stuff. I want sea salt. I have my French press, and this is a little heavy, but what we've discovered is that if you use your huge luggage, it's going to get too heavy. So with food, we have to use a carry-on size. This one's one step bigger than a carry-on, and it should, because I've got a lot of things in here that are lightweight, it should work okay for us. Then I have my shampoo and conditioner and some liquid soap. So I collect these bags. You do want to put liquids in some kind of bag, because on the airplane, because of the change in pressure, some of them will leak. So I do use plastic bags for that. I collect these, as I get them throughout the year. I just store them in my luggage so that they're there when I need them. So now I've just been throwing this stuff in a pile. Now I'm going to take a minute when we get off the video to sort it, to pack it in a space efficient way. And the other thing I've done this time is I ordered some things on Thrive Market and had them shipped to the resort for me. The third thing I'm doing is we've already researched where is the nearest Whole Foods and natural grocers. So conveniently, it's between Denver and Vail, so we don't have to carry our food in our lap in the Suburban for 2.5 hours. So from Denver, we're gonna go to Whole Foods that's close to Vail. That's always the first stop we make as a family on a long vacation. We go to Whole Foods. It won't take us very long at all. It might take us 30 minutes because I have a list. We know exactly what we're buying. We'll all kind of divide and conquer. And that also gives each person the opportunity to walk through the store and say, oh, I want this bottle of kombucha. And I want one of these. I want apples. Somebody else might want bananas or strawberries. So it lets each person, because all of my kids are adults now and they have their own preferences. So that allows each person to get what they want also. So I hope that this has been really helpful, and the most helpful thing is going to be the list and the recipes. For this trip, we have, I've made some Chunky Monkey muffins with almond flour. I've made some gluten-free cranberry bread, and I've frozen that, and it will travel perfectly fine. Then we're taking some oatmeal. We'll buy eggs there. We typically don't eat breakfast, but remember the principle of diet variation. Going on vacation is diet variation for us. We're not going to count carbs or fat. We're going to eat 3 meals a day, probably most of the time, instead of 2. And it'll probably end up being a little higher carb than usual. So that's one way that we get some diet variation. It's perfectly fine. It's healthy for us. For lunches, we have a very healthy bread that we can make some sandwiches. So I'll buy some sandwich meat there. I have a great recipe for chicken tortilla soup. We're having those ingredients shipped to us at the hotel. We're probably going to have eggs for lunch a couple of times. Then for supper, I've cooked a roast, and then I took parchment paper, which actually is going to go in my luggage, because when we buy bacon at Whole Foods, the parchment paper we can lay on the pan at the resort. It's probably aluminum. It's probably not stainless steel. So we'll lay this on it so that our food doesn't touch the aluminum, and it makes it super easy to clean. So I took parchment paper going both directions. I put it in a 9x13 baker. I put my roast in there. I wrapped the paper up and I froze it. So when I get ready to put it in my luggage, I can take it out of that 9x13 pan, wrap it in some foil. The foil's not touching my food. And then we have traveled all over the country and to Mexico and never had frozen food thaw in the airplane or in transit. So we get to the resort and they'll have a 9x13 pan. So I'll let it thaw in the fridge, and I'll just be able to take the foil off and put the parchment paper right in there. And I've got a huge roast. I've got 6 pounds of roast. So that's already cooked, and then we'll just buy the vegetables when we get to Whole Foods. In fact, I cooked a few really small potatoes, so they're in there with the roast. So we have roast one night. Another night, we have a chicken broccoli casserole. And if you have Dr. Pompa's Cellular Healing Diet Book, the recipe's in there. I love, love, love that recipe. So we're gonna mix that all up and put it, wrap it in parchment paper and have it when we get there. I love that because you can eat it hot or cold. It's a great recipe. It's great for having at a picnic. Then we also made some enchiladas. So we have a variety of tortillas. You can make it with or without tortillas. We lay the paper, one piece going this way, one piece going this way, in the 9x13 baker. You know, I couldn't do that without talking with my hands. Roll up all the enchiladas, put the sauce on top, fold the paper in, freeze it in the 9x13, get it out, wrap it with foil, and transit. Very easy. Then we've got our chicken tortilla soup. One night we're going to grill hamburgers. We can pretty easily buy that meat at Whole Foods. And we might or might not have some buns. What we're doing this trip that's a little different is I have a package of, a couple of loaves of bread that are ancient grains. And then we have some gluten-free bread also. And I'm not sure if I can get it there. So I'm going to carry something kind of like this on the airplane with just that bread, because it's kind of hard to pack bread. You can do it. You can get a cardboard box and put a loaf of bread in that and put that in your luggage. But otherwise, your bread is going to get squished in your luggage. So that's one thing that we're doing a little differently this time. So, that's it. I hope that it helps a lot. And we would love your comments, ask questions down below, and we would be happy to help you to make this manageable for you next time you go on vacation, so you can travel healthy if that's what you choose to do.